someone from the public like to speak?
Hi, Mayor. Daniel Serraldo on my own behalf. My only question, I see Commissioner Aleman sponsor this, is this effectively like an upzoning? Is it a way to raise streets and then, somehow add more FAR in circumvention?
No, if you look at, I can answer that, Commissioner Aleman. That's a legal question.
Sure.
But we address this in our agenda packet, and since the proposed ordinance essentially reinstates the exemption that existed prior to the July 11, 2014, which was in effect prior to the on November 7th, 2001, when we amended the charter with regard to FAR increases. This is essentially not a floor area increase beyond the threshold that was established with the November 7th, 2001 date. So this is a very narrow exemption, but it doesn't trigger our charter amendment and require referendum.
Okay, thank you. And are there particular projects contemplated to use this benefit that Commissioner Aleman's aware of?
Why are you asking Commissioner Aleman?
Oh, I thought she was a sponsor.
Oh, she is, but why would she know that?
Because she sponsored an ordinance about FAR below floor areas, so I figured that maybe someone,
Tom,
unless she thought of that on her own.
Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of contributing...
No, but she's not a planner, Daniel. Go ahead.
There's a number of contributing buildings in the city's local historic district who would fall under this category. And if they had available FAR, they could take advantage of this. I know one, I believe, is the Beachcomber that was proposing to do a full renovation along with a rooftop addition. But there could be other ones throughout the historic district. Even though this is narrowly tailored, it would apply to a contributing building.
Okay. All right. I guess won't get my answer, but thank you.
Mayor and Vice Mayor.
If I may. Good afternoon, Commission, Mayor. Monica Enton, Burke, Riddell, and Fernandez offices at 200 South Biscayne Boulevard. I represent the Sherry Frontenac, which is a beautiful historic building that's contributing in this city. And they have amazing basements. They have existing basements. And they also want to renovate the building and really bring it into this century. It's hard to do that when you have to count all of the FAR of your basement, which really doesn't function for you, where the ceilings are low, and you can't renovate the buildings. So what we've asked for, what we've worked with staff, and what Commissioner Aleman has helped us to do is to say for these contributing buildings in these historic neighborhoods, those existing basements are going to count as they did back in 2001, where it's 50% of the FAR that was there. So it's not adding any FAR, it's not to increase the FAR, it's to give those older buildings that have these existing areas a even playing field. Thank you.
Mr. Mooney, do you want to comment about the history of this piece of legislation and how it was modified and then taken advantage of and so forth? So we're really trying to fine-tune it into proper language that achieves the right result. Because ultimately, this is really a preservation ordinance designed, and it's limited strictly to contributing buildings in historic districts for a reason. Do you want to
Sure.
help with some of that?
Back in 2014, when this ordinance was first amended to make the current change, what we had noticed up until then was for new construction projects, architects and developers were locating the first floor 6 inches below sidewalk elevation and then claiming the 50% FAR bonus. And then what they would do is they would just simply, through floor tiles or other types of mechanisms, bring it up to sidewalk level. So to close that loophole, the proposal was to set a minimum depth of 4 feet in order to claim that 4 feet. But after vetting it through the Sea Level Rise Committee and the Land Use Committee, it was determined that it would be better not to encourage below-grade construction at all. So the ordinance as written was developed that counted the entire area as full FAR regardless of how far below sidewalk it went. One of the things that we realized subsequent to the adoption of that earlier this year was that did have a negative impact on existing historic buildings that already had that condition built in through no fault of their own, and it limited their ability in some cases to be able to redevelop and renovate that site because by counting that half basement as full FAR, it then maxed out their FAR prematurely. So this proposal was to reintroduce that in a very limited capacity for contributing buildings in order to encourage and foster their renovation and rehabilitation.
Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
on this?
please.
I'm just glad that we finally figured out what it was. We've been wondering what this was for the entire time, and now that we understand that it will actually help contributing buildings and help the renovation, we knew it was like a slight increase of FAR, so thank you for the clarification. Sometimes it would be so much easier if we just came up and said, look, here's the building. We want to renovate it, but we've got this. If you just tell us what's happening, then we won't question it. So thank you for asking the question. Thank you for answering the question, Monica. Danielle, thank you for asking. Monica, thank you for answering. And yes, I'll support it, no problem. Now that we get it, we just didn't understand what it was about.
All right, so somebody want to move it?
I'll move it.
You have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Commissioner Ariola. Yes? Commissioner Steinberg?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Grieco?
Yes.
Commissioner Aleman?
Yes.
Commissioner Malakoff is absent. Commissioner Rosen-Gonzalez?
Yes.
And the mayor is absent. Motion carries. The item is approved. You go to the bathroom?